How's it going, guys, girls? Hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back with another video, and this one is on the news about the new Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I just wanted to do a quick short video really on everything that we know so far and give my opinion on it, see what you guys think of it. Now, words can't express how excited I was to hear that there was going to be a Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was announced at E3 this year, and I'm psyched. A lot of people have been asking for Final Fantasy Remake for a while. It is probably my favorite Final Fantasy game, so I'm super excited. Now, we did have another trailer video that happened at the PlayStation Experience about a week ago, and they did show another trailer, and this time we got to see gameplay footage, which did reveal a little bit more about it. And also Yoshinori Kitase, the director and producer of Final Fantasy VII Remake, has spoken out a little bit more about it. So there are a few things that we do know more about it. Graphically, it looks great. The trailer showed some CGI as well as in-game footage. One of the biggest changes that we can see from it is that it looks like the combat is going to be real-time combat. So it's going to break away from that turn-based combat that we are all used to, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. So it looks like they're borrowing a lot of ideas, possibly mechanics and things from Final Fantasy 15, which is supposed to be coming out next year, and it's another game I'm super excited about. But a lot of people are mixed about this. Some people don't like it. Some people like the traditional turn-based. They want it to be traditional. Maybe they're still attached to the old Final Fantasy VII. But for me, I'm excited. I'm excited about this whole, real-time based combat. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be exciting. There should be some really cool moves, especially Cloud. It should be some pretty sweet stuff. One of the biggest announcements, however, that does have me a little bit worried and a little bit concerned is that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be episodic. Now, Yoshinori Kitase has gone online to, on Twitter and social media to explain the decision behind this. He has said that they do want to keep, the size and the scope of Final Fantasy VII, because one of the biggest things that it's famous for is the sheer scale of the game and the amount of detail, in terms of the worlds and Midgard and everything, Midgard that you can explore and everything. So he has said that he doesn't want to take away any of the content that was in the original game, and in fact wants to expand on the world and expand on the universe and make it even bigger. They are going to be releasing it in episodic, multi-part series. Now, I don't know how this is going to be done. Is this going to be done DLC-wise? Are we going to get the main game on disc? And then, every 6 months or every 3 months, we'll get a DLC, we'll have to pay for an extra DLC download. Is it going to be done more like the Telltale games in that, we buy each episode separately? Are these episodic series, is each episode going to be a £40-50 game? I really hope not, because if that is the case, then Square Enix, they might be saying that this is a creative decision, but the cynical person in me is seeing this as a marketing ploy to encourage you to buy a season pass or encourage you to pay 150 quid for a game that should really be 50 or 60 pound. Now, I don't see why it needs to be released in episodic downloads. I don't understand the necessity for that. If you ask me, that would actually restrict their ability to do it, because each episode, if it was going to be a download, there are restrictions on the size that downloads, can be in terms of DLC. So, if it is going to be a digital download, it's going to be quite expensive and time consuming, because it's going to take a lot of time to download that. I don't understand why there is this push, because the original Final Fantasy VII game came with, was it 3 or 5 discs? Like, it was a massive game, but they were stored on separate discs. There is no reason why they can't have this game be split onto, 2 or 3 discs, so that they can get, all of the content together Now, I know myself, you know, if I get the game and I play it, I'm going to become frustrated, which I do with every Telltale game when I come to the end of an episode and then I have to wait for the next episode or the next game to be released. It's incredibly frustrating when the product is not finished and you have to wait. So I think for many people that could be frustrating. They have said that each episode is going to be a self-contained chapter or story arc in the game, and that might be the case, but to have to wait between is frustrating. I would much rather them, you know, take the time, produce the game fully and just release it as one set pack, but maybe a 3 or 4 or 5 disc set, and then yeah, I'd be willing to pay a little bit more for that because of the amount of work that has gone into it. I don't like paying full price for something knowing that I haven't got the final finished product. I'm not a big fan of that at all. That's one of the biggest beefs that I have with games like, you know, Star Wars Battlefront or Destiny. So I am very concerned about this move by Square Enix and their choice to release it in episodic features. I'd much rather receive the final game in its final version. Now for me as well, I mean I want to play this game on day one, but if it is going to be released in episodic downloads, I might even consider waiting until all of the episodes have come out and then buy them, perhaps on the cheap by them because they would have come down in price, and also then I can play it, you know, I can marathon it. I can play these episodes back to back and get that full experience there, which you did do with Final Fantasy VII, because you just take one disc out, put the next disc in, continue the story and pick up where you left off. The problem with having it in episodic features as well is that sometimes you can forget what happened in the previous episode or at what point you were up to or what you were doing. And that can be jarring. That can break up the story. It can make it feel bitty and lack consistency and coherency. That's why with Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, I didn't like the fact that the missions were episodic. I didn't like that at all. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it being episodic. That's just my opinion. But I will say I am super excited for Final Fantasy, for the Final Fantasy VII Remake to come out. It's not going to be 2016. It's probably not going to be for another couple of years, though I am impressed with the fact that they already have CGI and gameplay footage ready for us to show. And, who knows, it might come out in 2016, 2017, but I highly doubt it. But it would be cool if it did. But either way, I definitely do want to buy it because it's a game I'm very excited about. But we'll have to wait to hear more from Square Enix, from Yoshinori Kitase, to see what is going to be happening with the game, to find out more information about it. And of course, as more information comes out, I will of course be doing more videos on it, with everything that we know about the Final Fantasy VII Remake for you guys. So anyway, what do you guys think of the news so far on the Final Fantasy VII Remake? What do you guys think about it being episodic? What do you think about the real-time combat that has been introduced over turn-based combat? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys and girls, well take care, and as always, happy gaming. Yeah.